To many, the Confederacy of Independent Systems and their actions took the galaxy by surprise at the start of the Clone Wars. However, was the CIS actually as ready for the war as they appeared? Now, this video ties into yesterday's video that discussed the Separatists' actual strategy for the war, and this video kind of explains why that strategy was necessary. You see, many see the CIS as being about to strike by the time the Clone Wars had begun, but this simply isn't true. As we could see from the meeting on Geonosis, the Confederacy was only just taking shape, with many key council members only just choosing to sign the treaty, including the likes of the Techno Union and Banking Clan. And when we look at Geonosis, it was a military strongpoint. The CIS was using it for a meeting place, so naturally it was going to have a huge military presence there. However, this didn't actually reflect how prepared the CIS was. As we know, the war wasn't supposed to happen, it only happened because of Jedi interference, and it's likely the only reason the CIS was so comfortable with butchering the countless agents of the Republic and a senator was because they didn't think the Republic had a standing army of its own. Now, the CIS didn't have the resources early on in the war to sustain a fight with the Republic, especially now that they had an army. The sad fact was that the movement had only just begun to take shape after the large tech companies and bankers had pledged their support. The CIS was really ready to take off. They had the finances that meant that they could make more ships and weapons, and with this support, they would have a power base strong enough to gather far more political leaders and worlds to their cause. If the war hadn't begun, the CIS would have been a superpower within a year or so, and would probably have been able to leave the Republic without a war at all. It's for this reason why the CIS was forced to fight more defensively throughout the early stages of the war. They didn't have the capability to go toe to toe with the rest of the galaxy, it just wasn't feasible. And it's why early on in the war the CIS was more concentrating on gathering assets and building up their armies. Now, we also know that the CIS wasn't as technologically advanced as the Republic at the beginning of the war. As we see, the CIS becomes more and more advanced as the war goes on. Its military is far more varied than the Republic's, and it is constantly developing new droids, new ships and new weapons at a rate faster than the Republic was. They were constantly upgrading and learning as the war went on. This is again likely because the CIS military and navy was only just starting to take shape, as opposed to the Republic, which got a very advanced army straight off the production line, with few developments needed to be made throughout the entire war. Finally, we have the Confederacy leaders. They didn't have many significant military leaders loyal to their cause. For example, Grievous was given a very high position in the hierarchy, despite being hated by nearly everyone in the CIS. The fact is, majority of the CIS tacticians were droids, and this really highlights just how unprepared the CIS was for the war. They hadn't had time to gather military leaders. Ultimately, without well-selected leaders, stable backing, and a well-established and formidable military, it's apparent that the CIS was not ready for the war. They accidentally initiated it due to overzealous actions on Geonosis. But what do you think? Thanks for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this little lore video. If so, please remember to like, share and sub, as it's really appreciated and it helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to tick the bell for regular updates on when I release videos, and follow me on Twitter @TheLoreGuy for regular updates. Thanks again for watching. I really do hope that you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.